What's going on, guys? Andrew here, back at you with another video, and this time it's a fan request from Jacob Linoff. Jacob comments a lot down in the comment section of your reviews, and he wanted me to react to the 100 greatest movies of all time, as quoted by Parade Magazine. And this list was compiled by Samuel Murion on May 14th of 2024. And I want to preface this by saying a lot of movies that people think are the greatest movies of all time, I'm probably not going to agree with because you look at me, I'm wearing an Escape from New York shirt. Don't expect to see this on there, but that's more the kind of movies that I love. And so, Gone with the Wind, I'm sure is going to be on this list and things like that. They're good movies, but would they be on in my top 15, top 10? No. So this is going to be an interesting list. And from the jump, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to go 100 to 1. I went through the list a couple of different times, and I made some footnotes about talking points that I want to discuss about this. Like starting with number 100, Bridesmaids from 2011. Yeah, they put Bridesmaids with what's Kristen Wiig, whoever else is in that movie. Yeah, I don't get it. There's so many movies that could be on this list that aren't, but Bridesmaids is number 100. Just ahead of that, at number 97 on this list is Goodfellas. Goodfellas to me should be much higher. It should be top 50 on this list of the greatest movies of all time. But here it is at number 97. So I feel like this list is they just kind of took all the awards and accolades and they're like, here, let's throw them on this thing. I know they said they also included rewatchability, but you got things like number 64 on this list, which is Million Dollar Baby, and I love Clint Eastwood, but once you kind of see Million Dollar Baby, I don't feel the need to ever watch that again. So it's at number 64. So yeah, I'm going to have issue with a lot of this list. Moving on, at number 95, we've got Halloween, which much like Goodfellas is way too low. And the reason I say that is much like Psycho, it helped establish the slasher genre. You look at Friday the 13th and all the slasher rip-offs. I love Friday the 13th, but that came from like 81 to 84, that golden period of slashers, and that's because of Halloween, man. And to have it here at number 95, to me, that's almost blasphemous in the movie world. At this point in the list, I'm going to skip all the way down to number 88, which is John Wayne's Searchers. And Searchers is a really good Western. I really like it. But I feel like there are so many other better old school Westerns. I mean, you do have No Country for Old Men, and you do have There Will Be Blood on this list. I'm not going to talk about them, but they're much lower. And traditional Westerns, I'm talking Unforgiven or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I would put ahead of The Searchers, which like I said, is a good movie, but to me, if you're going to represent that style of movie, I would have picked one of the others. There's a lot of movies on this list that I feel don't even really deserve to be on this list, like Get Out from 2017, kind of a fun horror movie, I guess. Precious from what was that, 2009 or 10, 11, something like that. Why? It's got to be because they won a bunch of awards. That's all I can figure. Because, like I said, nothing about those movies makes me want to just go out and watch them right now after talking about them. At number 82 on the list of the greatest movies of all time, according to Parade, is The Shining. And that should be way higher than 82. Especially when I start getting down lower and you see some of the movies on this list, you just go, man, why is that so low? Like Raiders of the Lost Ark, number 75. Why? Why is that so far down here? Raiders of the Lost Ark should be much higher than 75. That took action-adventure movies and changed the game. And I don't think whoever wrote this list remembers that. Continuing on as we get closer to the top half of the list, we've got Blade Runner at number 52. One of the greatest science fiction movies of all time. It should be a little bit higher in my opinion. It should be like top 30 or so. And then, this is the one. E.T. at number 51, which E.T. is a charming movie. It was the first movie I ever went to the movies and saw when I was like 3 years old. I actually still remember that theater experience because it was kind of scary being in a dark theater. But to me, E.T. at 51, it's not even the best alien movie of 1982. When you look at John Carpenter's The Thing, it's a much better movie than E.T., in my humble opinion, and The Thing's not even on this list. and E.T.'s at 51. So chew on that a while. They put 1976's Rocky at number 45, and I would agree with that. I think it's, upper 40s somewhere in there. The first Rocky's really good, and I've had the pleasure of seeing that at midnight in the cinema, and just a good time. Really great performance by Stallone. Although I would say this is probably my favorite Stallone performance right here, First Blood. That's my 4K. But uh, yeah, Rocky's up there. First Blood's not on the list. Like I said, it should be on there too. It's at this point in the list where I start getting kind of mad and shaking my head. You've got Alien and Aliens at 42 together as kind of like one story. And then 4 spots higher at number 38, you have Finding Nemo. This incorporates all genres into this thing. And I understand you wanted to get a family friendly thing on there, but it needs to be lower if you're going to do that. I don't even figure this deserves to be on the list, but I'm sure there's some 20 somethings out there that would argue with me right now. But yeah, you're going to say that, in your humble opinion, Finding Nemo is better than Ridley Scott's Alien or James Cameron's Aliens. Just, yeah, no. On a little more positive note, I will say they put Frankenstein at number 31, and I'll agree with that. I think that's the perfect position for Frankenstein. I'm glad to see monster movies represented on this. I've not really talked about them on this channel. I may get into some Hammer horror and may do some of the classic Universal monster movies on here. Let me know if you want to see that down in the comments. At this point in the list, from number 30 to number 10, I didn't make hardly any notes because they're the usual suspects in the list like this. You've got Chinatown, you've got Gone with the Wind. The one movie that did kind of make me raise my eyebrow was Fargo by the Coen brothers. And I love the Coen brothers. A couple of their movies are on here. But I think I like The Big Lebowski better. I would put it higher, but I understand. Fargo's fun. I think it was at number 28. I don't have a lot of notes, like I said, for number 30 to number 10, but one I did want to talk about was number 20. They've got When Harry Met Sally is the 20th greatest movie of all time, in their opinion. And no, Terminator or Terminator 2 didn't even make this list. Die Hard didn't make this list, but you've got When Harry Met Sally, which people know because of one scene at a lunch table. And I'm sure it's a great movie. I've not seen it in many years. But to me, that's just insulting to all these other great movies to have When Harry Met Sally that high. Maybe it's the writer of this article's personal favorite or something. I don't know, but that is entirely too high. It wouldn't even be on this list if it was my list. But going into the top 10, at number 10, we've got Pulp Fiction, by Quentin Tarantino. This one kind of changed the game as far as storytelling. I can understand why it's here at number 10. I do enjoy this movie, but it's another one of those, the rewatchability. Some days I can and some days I can't. I love the two, Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, Jules, and what's the other character's name? Love them in this movie. They're the best part of the movie to me. But it wouldn't be number 10 on my list. It may be down around 20. Coming in at number 9, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I guess it would be way down my list as well, but they've got it here at number 9. Number 8 is Titanic, which in my opinion is the 5th best James Cameron movie. If you're going to have him represented on here for something other than Aliens, I can understand if it wasn't Terminator, because 70% of everyone out there thinks T2's the better movie. They're wrong. But to say Titanic's better than even Terminator 2, that's, come on, guys. No. But yeah, it's here at number 8, and I understand. It won a lot of awards, and it was like the biggest grossing movie of all time until Avatar, which is a much worse movie than Titanic. Coming in at number 7 on the list is Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. And in most people's opinion, this isn't even the best Star Wars film. The next one, The Empire Strikes Back. And to me, it would have this spot if I even put it in the top 10. It would be lower half, top 10 if I did. But it's probably the second best Star Wars movie ever made. So yeah, I don't agree with that at all. Number 6 on the list is Schindler's List, which has a lot of historical significance, but it's not something I could watch all the time. So yeah, it wouldn't be number 6 on my list. I appreciate it for what it is, but I think I've seen Schindler's List like twice. So yeah, no, it would not be on a Drew Reviews list at all. Number 5 is The Wizard of Oz. I can see that right here. Um, can't argue with that at all. A million people who have synced up Pink Floyd to that song, me being one of them, but I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, I can see that. It'd probably be a little bit lower on my list, but I'm not going to raise too much of a fuss about Wizard of Oz being here at number 5. So there's 4 movies left on this list, and the next movie at number 4, I would have probably put it number 1 of the list of these 4, and that's The Godfather. It's not my favorite movie of all time, but it's up there, and I recognize the greatness in it. I think it's better than these other 3 for sure, which they're the usual suspects as well. At 3, you've got Citizen Kane. At 2, you've got Casablanca. And at 1, you got Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. All very good movies. I can't say anything bad about them, and I understand why they are where they are on the list. They wouldn't be there on my list, is all I'm saying. I say a lot in the movies I review. Like, I might talk about how much I like Hands of Steel, which is not a good movie at all. It's a Terminator ripoff. And I'll say, it's good, but they weren't trying to make Citizen Kane here. I kind of use that as a benchmark, but at the same time, it's one of those movies, I just don't have too strong of feelings about it. It's a good movie. I've seen it a couple times, but it's just not my thing, man. Yeah, this is a sci-fi and action guy doing the greatest movies of all time list, so I'm gonna have some kind of differing opinions from the list the masses might have. And so yeah, that's an interesting top 5: Wizard of Oz, Godfather, Citizen Kane, Casablanca, Vertigo. I would almost flip those 5, but put Godfather 1. So it is what it is. I look at this list, man, and I'm going, where's at least Terminator 2, and where's Die Hard? Where is Unforgiven? Which I would think has everything that this list would have wanted with the accolades and the awards. But yeah, none of those movies are on here. Where's The Thing, for that matter? That just chafed me really bad when E.T. was there and The Thing wasn't. But I can understand, and I somewhat respect the list, even though When Harry Met Sally at number 20, that's mad, man. And some of the newer movies on here, like Get Out and Precious and stuff like that, it's no. I've got no time for that. So, that's my list. Let me know if you agree or disagree down in the comments. And let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see more lists like this. They've also put out a sci-fi list, which I told Jacob I would actually do like a sci-fi and action list if I didn't have to do this. But he insisted on wanting me to do this list. So there you are, Jacob. Hope you're happy. But in the future, if you guys want to see me do like the sci-fi or the action list, let me know down in the comments, because I'd have far more to say than, how am I going to sit here and just Citizen Kane? You can't. Or, The Godfather. You can't do it. But, we get into more than the sci-fi and action realm, I get a lot more opinionated. So, yeah, let me know if you want to see that down in the comments. Let me know if you like videos like these. So, until next time, guys, this is Andrew, and I'll see you down the line on the next Drew Reviews.